November 30th, 2012, from the stylish high-tech underground studios of Ribbit Media in Warwick, Rhode Island, this is NewsUndies. For November 30th, 2012, this is NewsUndies, all the news that shouldn't be news. Pig, sheep, and moose have the week off. I'm Paul Torville with these headlines. Well, duh! A new study finds that sex makes people happy. I say again. Well, duh! Turkey pardoned for Thanksgiving. Turkish President Abdullah Gül relieved. Macy's advertises new Liz Taylor fragrance. Do they know she's dead? In case you didn't know, she is. And I'm guessing she doesn't smell too good. Happy Turkey Day! 50 car pileup. Something to be thankful for in Texas? Oprah endorsement fail. Billionaire tweets to promote Microsoft Surface from her iPad. Newark, New Jersey Mayor Cory Booker to feign poverty by living on a food stamp-like budget for a week to demonstrate solidarity with the poor. How do you undiscover an island? Go there and find out. A scientific research expedition finds an island purported to exist on most maps off the coast of Australia simply isn't there. The position's right, except no sandy island. Perhaps it was destroyed by the Empire. Saudis decide to electronically track their most dangerous citizens. Women. Who needs feet when you can have shoes? Popularity of a surgical procedure to remove women's pinky toes is on the rise. This, of course, is so that they can leave more credible cat-like paw prints as they trot from the shower to the bedroom. That and fitting into fabulous shoes. Douchey in our eye. Local radio douchebag John DePietro, a self-professed devout Roman Catholic, panders to supposedly psychic performance artist John Edward, apparently unaware of the Catholic Catechism's explicit prohibition on trying to communicate with the dead. NPR discusses astrotheology, reconsidering supernatural gods in the light of scientific discovery. About 150 years late. Coming up after the break, White Angus, Peace Pipe Dreams, and Death the Size of a Grapefruit.
I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist.
I'm an atheist.
Angus T. Jones. Gaza ceasefire. Thank you, Staples Easy Button. The UN General Assembly votes overwhelmingly to deem Palestine a non-member observer state. Funny how the UN could just vote Israel into existence on the land previously known as Palestine, but has had such a hard time throwing the Palestinians a bone. There is a reason grapefruit juice tastes awful. It's deadly! A recent study shows that compounds in grapefruit juice can have harmful, even fatal interactions with over 85 commonly prescribed drugs, including those used to treat high cholesterol, cancer, infection, depression, pain, and heart disease. For years, the medical profession has been touting the health benefits of citrus in general and grapefruit in particular. That thinking will have to be revised if Big Pharma is to recover its investments in advertising and lobbying Congress and the FDA. I mean, research. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, lies. All lies! a busy couple of weeks, and Mayan vindication at last!
Hi, I'm Paul Torville, the guy behind, in front of, and wearing on his head NewsUndies. If you enjoy NewsUndies, you can help support NewsUndies by going to the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave and buying some kitsch. There's groovy shirts, awesome dummy head mugs. It only hurts when I care bears. So fuzzy. Groovy oval NewsUndies stickers just like this. And, yes it's true, NewsUndies boxer shorts. Aw yeah! Can be found on the Ursus Pacificus Kitsch Cave.
Religion. And now, here's Ryan Hanley with another Jeff Goldblum fact.
You know Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was on Broadway in a play called The Pillow Man. I went thinking it was an opportunity to cuddle with a snuggly Jeff Goldblum. Boy, was I mistaken. I ended up cuddling with Richard Dreyfuss instead. But the play was pretty good, so there's that. Back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. Fascinating. With the so-called holiday season officially upon us, I thought it might be a good time to take a few passing glances at what people do with their so-called Christian family values. Mind you, these stories are not aggregated from the last couple of years. These are just some of the choice picks from the last 2 weeks. Oklahoma District Court Judge Mike Norman handed down a sentence in a vehicular manslaughter conviction, which included 10 years of weekly church attendance. Not constitutional, but whatever. Talk about the devil calling the kettle Satan. Manchester, New Hampshire lawyer Lisa Byron, associated with Alliance Defending Freedom, previously known as the Alliance Defense Fund, a Christian anti-gay law group, was arrested last Friday morning on child pornography charges. Classy. Way to go, atheists. We Christians never get what we want. Dateline, Santa Monica, California. The city of Santa Monica has decided not to permit any holiday displays on public land following a dispute between Christians and atheists wherein the city had set up a lottery to determine what displays would go up. Atheist groups and individuals dominated the lottery and got the overwhelming majority of the spots. Christian groups are now suing the city and hoping to take this issue all the way up to the Supreme Court, because there is no need for Christian charity in Santa Monica. Everyone is housed, clothed, and well-fed. Pat Robertson understands atheists completely. On a recent episode of the televised Loon Fest, The 700 Club, televangelist Pat Robertson remarked that atheists are miserable and trying to steal Christmas. Right on the money, as usual, Pat. Marco Rubio, dunce. U.S. Senator from Florida admits he's no scientist and doesn't know how old the Earth is, but he suspects the Bible has the answer. Yeah, like it does on the issue of unruly children. Louisiana teaches stupidity. Some state-sponsored schools in Louisiana have been found to use textbooks setting Christian creationism up as a viable, even scientifically credible explanation for the biological order we see today, and portraying evolution as the laughable fever dream of a simpleton. No chance at all, they might have gotten that backwards. The headline is awful. The story is way awfuler. Head over to Jezebel.com and search for the headline, quote, "Ex-gay Christian sex cult leader accused of arranging wife's murder." End quote. That's, quote, "Ex-gay Christian sex cult leader accused of arranging wife's murder." End quote. Yeah. Nice guy. Very Christian. Kentucky atheists could get jail time. Good going, Kentucky. A Kentucky Homeland Security law, which first drew negative publicity for the Commonwealth in 2006, states in part, quote, "The safety and security of the Commonwealth cannot be achieved apart from reliance upon Almighty God," end quote. Flat out retarded. Thankfully, American Atheists has petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court to review the law because the Supreme Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky doesn't seem particularly motivated to look into it. Salvation Army official shows LGBT compassion. They should all die. Nice. Baby killed for being the devil. Talay Aki Thomas, 30, of Plant City, Florida, stated that her newborn child, Chase Harrelson, was actually the devil, and that's why she drowned him in her bathtub. I have a hard time seeing a thing like this happening if people aren't raised from birth believing in nonsense like devils and spirits. But hey, sometimes you just gotta kill your baby. Different strokes, you know? Say, Virginia public official, how exactly are atheists terrorists? Loudoun County, Virginia Supervisor Ken Reed made a stink about competing winter festival displays because they don't explicitly support the story of Jesus and how it relates to consumerism. Reed told a Washington Times reporter that the atheist and other non-traditional displays are, quote, another example of putting fingers in the eyes of shoppers and businesses and trying to make a mockery of Christmas holidays. That's what they're really about. They're hell-bent on trying to destroy people's holidays, end quote. Yeah, I can vouch for that. It has nothing at all to do with understanding reality on its own terms. As Reed puts it, quote, it's strictly this group of terrorists. They're fanatics who basically want to stamp out religion in all public life and property, end quote. Now there's a guy with his finger on the pulse of modern atheism. And finally, and I do mean finally, we all saw this coming, didn't we? Well, actually, I never thought I'd see the day. Maybe the Mayans were right. Maybe this really is it. Televangelist Pat Robertson, who for years has been spouting zingers and whoppers and has managed to offend just about everyone who is not an old, white, uptight, heterosexual Protestant Christian man, may have come off the rails a little. Well, off his rails, anyway. Robertson recently answered a viewer-submitted question on the 700 Club. The viewer was concerned about her children and her husband not getting into heaven because the Bible just doesn't square well with the obvious evidence for a world much older than 6,000 years, and dinosaurs and so on. Robertson, in a sparkling Matrix-like moment of clarity, said, quote, you go back in time, you've got radiocarbon dating, you've got all these things, and you've got the carcasses of dinosaurs frozen in time out in the Dakotas, end quote. Robertson then went on to say, quote, they're out there, so there was a time when these giant reptiles were on Earth, and it was before the time of the Bible. So don't try to cover it up and make like everything was 6,000 years. That's not the Bible, end quote. I'm suddenly spooked. Well, that's all for this edition of NewsUndies. If you see news that shouldn't be news, you can submit your story tips online at NewsUndies.com. NewsUndies is a bi-weekly show. We'll be back on December 14th with a special look back at 2012. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Paul Torville. After that, I might be spraying mace in the face of someone trying to get the last Feed Me a Twinkie Elmo before I do. In the name of baby Jesus. Oh! Hooray!